to another video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Sharon. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to watch today's video. So today we're not going to be doing a vlog. It's actually day 2 of Vlogmas, but we are going to be doing a sit down video. I need to answer this is one of my most requested questions on YouTube here, and I thought, why not respond to that question before also we get to the new year. So yeah, if you're interested, probably you have seen also the title. Let's just get into the video. The question that I've received the most on this channel is probably how to get monetized on YouTube, as well as how to get started if you want to have a YouTube channel. So I think the first part, the first question that I'm going to answer is how to get started on YouTube, and then we'll get to the money later. So if you want to get started on YouTube, it's a pretty simple thing, guys. The first thing that I will tell you is make Google your friend, because a lot of the questions that you have, sometimes you don't know how to phrase them, but when you go on Google will answer all sorts of questions that you have. So to get started on YouTube, you obviously need to have a Gmail account, which if you're on YouTube right now, you probably do have a Gmail account, and then you can just go on YouTube and then you create an account. I will try to link more detailed videos here on YouTube that you can just follow the step-by-step stages that you can take to creating an account. But I want to believe that if you're at a stage where you want to create a YouTube channel, you are probably familiar with how to create a YouTube channel. Then secondly, when you create a YouTube channel, make sure that your social media platforms, the ones that you use, either it's for a business or it's for personal, if you're comfortable to get it connected to your personal, make sure that all those accounts are connected as well to your YouTube, so that every time you post something, you can share. Before you even share, I think I would also advise, what I did is I would go to my WhatsApp, I would go to my Facebook, I would go to like my Instagram, to just let people know that I have a YouTube channel now. If anyone is interested, they can just subscribe. But however, I want to tell you that most of your subscribers are not going to come from the people you already know. Unfortunately, you are going to have people who resonate with your content that are going to subscribe, which is still fine, because it doesn't mean that if you are selling something, the people that are close to you have to buy it anyway. So that's typically the same concept. So you need to have social media platforms that you share your new YouTube account to, so that people start subscribing even before you post something. Then once you have that sorted, you have your account created, you have what else, your people knowing that you also have a YouTube channel. I think the third thing that you would need to get into is to actually creating the content. This is the trickiest part for a lot of people, but I promise you guys, the more you do something, the more comfortable you become. What you need is to just get started, and I promise you will find an excuse not to. You'll find an excuse to do it next year, you'll find an excuse to do it next month, but just get started. So the easiest thing to do when you have opened a YouTube channel is to film a get to know me video. Either if you have a huge platform like on Instagram or Facebook, ask your people to ask you some questions that you can respond to in the get to know me video, or you can just Google get to know me video on Google, and it will show or topics that you can talk about in the video. Basically, it's you talking about yourself, what people can expect from your channel, and things like that. Yeah, so a get to know me video I think would be important just to get started. And also after that, I think understand the niche. Idea a niche, guys, it applies everywhere, because now you need to know who's your target audience, you need to know who you're creating your content for, and you need to know what kind of content you're going to be creating. So say you are into maybe drama or acting, you probably know what kind of people you're going to target. So those are the type of people that you create your content in mind with, so that when you put out that content, they can also receive it well. So basically understand the niche. Go to my vlogs, my skits. Are you going to be talking about politics? Are you going to be talking about finances? All those things. Sit down, have a framework, so plan. In the first 3 months, I'm going to be doing ABCD. This is the kind of content that I'm going to be sharing. And then the fourth thing, I don't know if I'm on the fourth or the fifth, is have a posting schedule, guys. YouTube, one thing I love about YouTube is YouTube respects consistency. If you're consistent on YouTube, it doesn't matter if you post once a week, if you post monthly, you will get new subscribers and your channel will grow. I personally throughout the year I was trying to post twice weekly, but sometimes I would fail and I would post once, and sometimes there was a time I also took a break, which is allowed. You're allowed, if you're feeling fatigued, to take a break, but don't go for too long, because you come, then you have to get started, your engagement is going to go low, your subscribers at times are also going to go low, and it's difficult to grow when you're not consistent, sorry. And then, so you need to be consistent, and when you're consistent, this is just like any other business. Say you sell tomatoes, you have a kamsika or a market that you sell your tomatoes to, you have customers, when they come, they expect to find you there, and when you're not there, you become unreliable, and people are going to look for someone else to buy the tomatoes. It's a very simple concept. People need to be reliable, and it's just respect that you show up for people who are also showing up for you. I hope I'm making sense. Just be consistent. If you can't post weekly, post bi-weekly. If you can't post bi-weekly, post monthly, but make it a point that you show up for your subscribers and for the people who have decided to be part of your journey. So that's one thing I would also say, that if you want to get started on YouTube, be consistent. Choose a schedule that really people can follow and can know that on Mondays when we go to so and so's channel, this is what we're going to watch. So I think for now that's what I could think of at the top of my head. I didn't write anything down. If you have any questions regarding how to get started on YouTube, leave them in the comment section below, and then we'll just interact there. But I thought I would just answer the typical few questions that you may need to know. Sometimes I'll get asked about AdSense, about being monetized. Forget all those things when you're starting on YouTube, because the money, to be honest, for a lot of people, if your channel doesn't blow up, the money that you make on YouTube is a very little, to be honest. I won't lie to you and say you make a lot of money up until maybe your channel has grown. I've seen South African YouTubers who make 10,000, 27,000, 40,000 rands a month, but here in Zimbabwe, the most I've seen, I know, excluding musicians, there's this guy called Kundai. I know it's a travel content, and I saw him posting a screenshot of his monthly earnings on YouTube. It was 300 and something, and there's about 8k subscribers. So it's not bad to earn that amount of money. But however, if you're coming to YouTube, one thing I would discourage you is to get into it for the money, or to get into it thinking that it's something to get fame with. I don't know if that makes sense, but have a niche. Try to come with an angle that you're trying to help people, to entertain people, and to just serve a purpose, basically. I won't get into why I started or how I started, but every time I post a video, I have to ask myself, is this a useful video? Does it make sense for me to post this video? So yeah, let me not waste too much time on this aspect. If I left out anything, please make sure that you leave a comment in the comment section below. Now we go on to the second part, which is how to get monetized and how much I make personally from YouTube. So how you get monetized on YouTube, the last time I checked, you needed 1,000 subscribers and you needed 4,000 watch hours for you to be monetized. But I read somewhere that they were reviewing that. I don't know if they have. If they have, then I'll also come into the comments to correct myself. But yeah, you need 4,000 watch hours, and then you need about 1,000 subscribers for you to get monetized. In my case, I got to 1,000 subscribers, I think, earlier this year in February, and later on, I think end of winter, I got monetized because my watch hours were lagging behind. To wait until I got to 4,000 watch hours. As soon as you get to that, YouTube will send you steps you need to take to getting monetized. The first one being, you have to have an AdSense account. So an AdSense account is more like, I'm going to try and simplify this. AdSense is a Google company, right? Which pays creators from Google. If you have a blog, or if you have a website and you run adverts on that website, AdSense is the one that's responsible for money. We are paid via AdSense. I hope I'm making sense. My money from YouTube, I'm paid via AdSense. So it's important for you to have an AdSense account. At the same time, you don't need to create an AdSense account if you're not yet monetized, because if you're inactive on your AdSense account, you will be deactivated. So wait until you're monetized, or wait until you get the go ahead to create the account, because it's just a waste of time for you to create an AdSense account before you're monetized anywhere on Google. So I hope that makes sense. And the other thing, when I got started with YouTube, I really didn't get into it for the money or whatever. It was because my blog at the time, it felt very stagnant. So I needed something that was more interesting, more challenging. And I think creating video content was more interesting, keeping in mind that I studied media in college. So in the media, you know, editing, software, I'm there because it's of interest to me. And that together with the fact that I also enjoy fashion, I thought, why not take whatever that I was doing from my blog and put it on YouTube. Hence, we started creating fashion videos on YouTube. However, I realized that vlogs are more well received than the fashion content. You can go down on my videos and see for yourself that vlogs are more well received because people, I think, like the interaction that comes with vlog. There's no need for you to get an AdSense account before you are monetized on YouTube. Once you go to AdSense as well, AdSense will also show you step by step things that you need to do for your AdSense account to be set up. And I want to believe that if you have a Facebook account, if you have an Instagram account, if you have a YouTube account, it's a very simple process to go under. What they need from you is you have to fill in a text form. It's all there on AdSense. You don't need to worry about anything. You need to fill up your text information, or the first step actually is send you a pin to your address. That pin is the pin that you're supposed to enter to make sure that you get started on AdSense. I hope I'm making sense. So that pin, it takes about, for me it took about 2 months for it to be, it's posted via mail. So I received that later, and then I filled in that pin, and then that's how you get started on AdSense. And then, like I said, you fill in your text information, and then the third thing, you fill in your banking details. Once that's done, you are set up on AdSense. And then with YouTube, for you to get paid now, you have your AdSense set up, you've met the requirements to get monetized on YouTube. However, YouTube also, for us people that are in Zimbabwe, I don't know people with other currencies, you need to reach $100 for your money to be deposited into your account, right? So that threshold is set for all creators. Monthly going onwards, you need to reach to that point where you make at least more than $100 for it to be deposited into your account. So this money comes basically from adverts and people just engaging with more of your videos. That's why you guys, I'm always saying, please watch the videos, please watch the adverts, because that's how a lot of creators make their money from YouTube. There are other ways like working with brands or whatever, but that's not what we're going to get into today. So once you get to that $100, usually it's easy to get to that $100 from what I've read. Once you reach that threshold for the first time, as long as you're consistent, I think the money will keep coming in, and the amounts at some point will increase as your audiences also. The other thing that I struggled with for my Zimbabwean content creators is that I'm not formally employed. So with the Zimbabwean economy, it's very difficult to set up, we call it a nostro account, which is basically an account that you receive money from international banks coming into your account. So if you're not formally employed, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe has set up rules that kind of makes it difficult for you to have a nostro account. So I initially wanted to go to Stanbic, but however, because they requested that I have a letter of employment, a contract, or a payslip, I didn't have any of those things, and they said because of that I couldn't create an account with them. The reason I wanted them is because you also want an international bank, a bank that's reliable for you to use even when you travel, because a lot of us Zimbabweans have struggled with the banking system, because sometimes you have your money in a certain bank, the next thing that bank is closed. So it also just makes sense for you to go with a bank that is recognized internationally. So I went to Stanbic. Stanbic didn't work out. Where else did I go? I tried to go to CBZ. CBZ also didn't work out. Also because CBZ, I wasn't really sure. I'm mentioning the name of these banks because I struggled with this option. So I'm hoping maybe someone will also find this useful, someone who's based in Zimbabwe. So I use Bank ABC for all my banking. Anytime you hear me saying that I'm going to the bank, Bank ABC is the bank that I use. So I was like, you know what? I have other accounts with this bank, but let me just try and go and see if I can open this Nostro account. So I went, what's needed there? I think the most, it took me the entire day, guys, to create that account. I went into town in the morning, I went to the bank, and they told me that they need an affidavit. They needed to be stamped by the police or a lawyer or an accountant. In that letter, you will write that you are a digital creator, you create content and where your money is coming from and the amounts that you are expecting. And then I went to the police and then I got it stamped. And then what else did I need? You need 2 passport photos, you need $10 or $20, I'm not sure. But if this is something also that you might be interested in, you can just go to the bank and ask what's needed, because anyway you will need a form that you will need to fill too. So either way you will need to go to the bank. And then when did I get paid? I got paid my first check in November, actually. November. I could have received that money earlier, but I delayed to fill in the details because remember, bank, details. There are a lot of numbers that are needed, guys. And if you're going find a banker who's patient, it's a whole lot of things. I think for content creators outside of Zimbabwe or like in developed countries, our experiences are very much different. But anyway, I got paid in November, and actually my first check was 200. It was supposed to be 210, 15 somewhere there. I'll put a screenshot on the screen of it somewhere. But however, the other thing is because you filled in that tax information, we are taxed in the US, and I think we're taxed about 30% of your earnings. So by the time it got to my bank account, I think it was somewhere around $41. That was my first YouTube check. So that's why I was saying, you guys, you cannot get into YouTube thinking that you're going to earn more money. However, I'm not saying it useless. For me, it's money that I actually appreciate, because where was I going to get $140? Or if you don't want to come in the description, in the comment section, you can just DM me, email me. I'll be happy to help. I'll be happy to answer your questions. But guys, make Google your friend. YouTube videos are there to help. Google is also there to help. Also shout out to Becoming Noah, because she's the person that I would also go to. Becoming Noah Lorraine, she's the person that I would go to like ask questions on how to answer some of those questions. And yeah, shout out to her for helping me. I'm going to link also your channel in the description box below. So anyway, I think that's all that I wanted to talk about today. Let's meet in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.